going. All right, guys. Can you all see? All right, you can see us. Okay, great. So, totally forgot what we're doing here. Okay, so we are at the Iron Realms God Meet, and we're doing our annual God's massive question thingy, and we have a couple announcements we're going to do first about some things that come in the game, and then we'll let you guys ask whatever questions you want of all of our gods. We have all the games represented except for Atolia, so we actually have a couple of special announcements for Atolia. There's some design things we've come up with here at the meeting, which I think are really exciting, a little hot. One thing we're going to be doing, and Atolia is going to be kind of our flagship for this, so I'm sure Eric's super excited. We're going to move probably Atolia off of Telnet, so you won't be able to connect to Atolia via CMUD or any of the normal clients out there. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a custom client just for Atolia, and Mike Braun over here is working on it. He's giving me the thumbs up right now. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to make it so no one can use triggers or aliases or anything like that, so everyone will be on pretty much a level playing field. Which will be pretty awesome, I think. I think everyone will be pretty excited about that. So if you have any questions about that, just go ahead and shoot your emails on over to Eric on Atolia. So just like gallius@atolia.com, and you can just ask him all the questions that he wants. All your questions about this awesome new system. It'll be awesome. Anyways, okay, so let me kind of introduce everyone that we got here. We've got JT right here from MKO. He'll wave. I'll get out of the way. He'll be in my seat. We have Michael Braun over here. Come on over, Mike. From Westernia, there's Mike, and he'll be in here in a second. We have Rob, of course, Astara from Westernia. We've got Laura right here from Achaia. We've got Justin from Achaia. We've got Jesse from Empyrean. We've got David from Westernia. Is that who we got in here? We've got a bunch of other gods here. Let me give you a quick view. Gods from everywhere. All right, there we go. So, shoot, now we messed up our list there. Sorry, let me fix this. Are we good? Is that about where we were?
Yeah, that was.
Okay, all right. So, what we're going to do is we're going to do just questions and answers. If you guys have any questions, just fire them out, and then JT here will be in charge of sorting the questions. And then we'll answer it. I think we have about an hour. We use about an hour. Yeah. And then our heads will probably explode when we're done with it. And then we'll go from there. All right. So here we go. Let me get our guys in here, and you guys start asking questions. Yeah, you're into there.
Everybody walk your head. Okay.
Oh, I'm
Are we recording? Is this thing
yes,
actually recording this time?
Yes, we are recording this.
Okay, this year we're going to record it. Okay, so anyone have questions? Let's go. So, coming to the main screen, yeah, this is stop now.
You guys do nothing on it yet.
Let's see. Into the god. Yeah, we don't have any questions yet, so.
Okay, at the moment we just released the city construction system, which allows cities to invade other cities and perform sort of blow up other rooms and things in the city and bit of permanent sort of damage to their enemies, which is a really cool system. So we just put that in. We've got a couple of tweaks coming to that in the next couple of weeks. We just released the second batch of our class leads in July, so that's my sort of changes that we announced yesterday. So
see that a little more. Yeah, start shouting.
So class leads we announced them yesterday, and a whole heap of ideas that Cardan put in, I think just probably about half an hour ago, which is a bunch of really cool new changes. So, on all heaps of new things, so check them out.
Let's see, we did have some questions here. When can we expect Polaris out? We don't have any ETA on that yet, so there's nothing really we can tell you that. We'll be done when it's done. No, we can't turn the fan off. What else do we have? Game merge, not going to happen. Again, this is true. Is it true the meat is not any fun without meat? This is Matsuyama. Matsuhu? I don't even know who you are. We're having a great time. Alright, let's see. What else do we have here? Weird noise, join us. Do we expect population shifts when Polaris is released? There's always some players that go back and forth between the games when that happens. But I think it's it's an entirely new genre, so we'll see.
Jeremy, do you want to say anything about Polaris?
I just said there's no.
No.
And then let's see. Okay, any other questions? Or else we're just gonna run over gods and something that we'll be starting bringing gods to Serenwild.
Serenwild, it depends on what the ephemerals that are lined up want to go to. So if Serenwild is receptive to a new god, and if the volunteer wants to be a god, I won't force a volunteer to go into an organization they really don't want to go into. And one thing to say, maybe with all the games, is that if you're in an organization that wants a new deity, you should be nice to the deities you have, because if you get a reputation as an organization,
Speak up.
I said something very profound. Say it again.
We can't turn the fan off, it's on the laptop, so sorry.
Yeah, sorry about
Should
that.
the people that speak
Yeah, maybe we
the
can
fans of those
trying to figure it out. Okay. No.
Yeah, just move up. Just
move up. Who was it?
Whose laptop is this? I could have brought it. Okay, so the question is, God's going to an organization. What I was saying was that if you're an organization that wants a new God, you should be sort of nice to the gods you have, or have a reputation of being nice to a god. Because if you're an organization that bitches a lot about the gods and the men and whatnot, people just don't want to go there, And is that true for all the games?
Very much
so. Yeah, so that's something that you could do to help attract a volunteer to want to be a part of your organization. So that's my answer to that.
What else do we have here? I see the Puma question. Any ETA on Ranger? There's not one. I know it was announced long before beta, but it was something that was promised by a previous producer. And so we've been focusing on expanding the classes we have now and filling those out with skill set choices before we release any new classes.
Okay, Arian Nest said, I'll be a goddess star. Westernia will be having a ephemeral application probably after the meeting. So if you want to be a god, apply next week.
Let's see, what else do we have here? Is there a possibility we'll ever publish a public API for Rapture to aid mortal builders and possibly allow proposing patches? No. No, we're not going to have mortal builders. In that respect, it's open to everybody. No, there's no way. Let's see, what else? What else do we have here? More classes. Yeah, I think all the games have got more classes. It's an issue of coding them and designing them, which is a lot of work. Let's see. Are you ever going to say when Aetolia takes place in relation to Achaea? If you have that information available, it's very hard to find. Does anyone know? I mean, we don't have Eric's not here.
Aetolia and I think it's
Yeah, I think it's completely separate at this point. Eric, Gallius could answer that better, but he's not here at the meet. So we shoot an email maybe, or send him 5 or 6 messages in the game. He'd really like that.
I see a question on their GMCP support for Listernia. I guess I wasn't familiar that there's a difference in Listernia's GMCP and other games, so if we have a gap that we overlooked or whatever, then email me, work@listernia.com. Yeah, we have. It says there's a gap, and I'm not sure what that gap is.
Yeah, I think that's true for all the games. If there's a GMCP issue, just submit a bug or email us, and we'll fix that. Let's see.
What's a brawny?
I don't understand that question. It's up in my head.
That's too advanced of a question.
Yeah. We have any hope for multi-classing in a KO someday? I'm gonna have a question.
You should probably.
Yeah, rotate again.
Wow.
Shuffle.
Okay, multi-classing in Achaia. We don't really have any plans for that at the moment. We sort of like where everything is at the moment, but you never know what the future may bring in that regard.
It's too hard.
We will be adding ponymancers to Achaia.
That's a good question.
It's a very tempting prospect, yeah, so,
Twilight has really been lobbying for it, so yeah.
yeah.
It's a possibility. Let's see if we miss any other ones. Will the mob resistances be balanced? Hunting is pretty terrible for those that do X-Corp damage, and the melee resistance is really shaft warriors and monks. I think that's the list of the
That's
question.
only 3 questions.
What's the question?
This will be a real fast. So the question is about resistances be balanced. The answer is yes.
Let's see. That's good. Nice and fast. We like that. We say happy birthday, Vanna, in Spanish. Does anyone here know Spanish? Feliz cumpleaños, Vanna. How have the individual games benefited since Iron Realm's social networking advertising, and is Irie prepared for overnight success? We are ready for overnight success. Ready to go right now, this second. Let's start it. We have benefited since social networking. I know, especially, I have to speak to Makini in particular. I think about half our player base are not Irie players from other games. They're fans of the books, and they just, it's like, a lot of them it's their first night. So I know I've gotten a lot of those through social networking and through the sites and things like that. Let's see. Will someone ever get to the bug with monk speed in Estonia? You're going to have to explain more on that. I don't think, unless someone knows what the monk speed bug is. Yeah, you're going to have to explain more.
I think players think we have every bug memorized.
Yeah.
I know every bug in the entire game. I don't know that.
Yeah, I think in Makini has something like 800 reported bugs. We categorize them as opposed to high priority, low priority. But there's actually not every one of those. Was vampirism meant to be around this long? Oh, this is a Makini question. We released it as kind of a Halloween thing, and some people have hung on to it since then. It's not something that we really care. Players lose it over time as they die, and so if someone wants to hang on to it, that's fine. It's not available until Halloween. Let's see. Okay, so monk grapples only work for Aslan failing. Okay, that's this one. Okay.
8. I think I saw this message. You can look into it. It's I think you're saying that for some races you can't really do grapple fully. So yeah, if there's submit like a bug report about it, and I'll take a look at that and fix it.
Oh, you have it?
Okay, sweet. Well, that'll be sent to me, and I'll take a look into it.
Alright. Front and center again. Okay. We have the bug number. Will apostates ever get sickness and evil eye, or are we stuck gecko pouring our dogos?
Does that make one? Does that make green one?
I think that's okay. Tecton says no. Sorry. ETA on new Vastar.
Whenever somebody wants to.
I think Rob answered that earlier, yeah, whenever somebody wants to play in an active role, that's when we get new rounds.
Tomorrow. Log in.
Tomorrow.
Honest.
Yeah. Is Esternia guy Relic from System of a Down? Do you know what shit we speak we don't know about?
Well, I play trombone, but I don't think they have a trombone. I do like the band, so.
ETA New Lynch Padman, that's the same thing. Whenever someone's afraid. Tomorrow. Will McKinney be looking for new Solani in the near future? Yeah, I think we are going to put out a call. One thing I typically do is I wait until the current Solani have either become gods or dropped out of the program before we bring in new Solani. So that way, we don't have too many and give them our full attention. So we're waiting on one or two more to get through it. What else do we have? Estonia, Chuck was said to get a review in November of last year. In a couple of months, it'll be a year. How's the review going?
So about a month ago, we talked to the envoys and asked, hey, what's the status of choke? Because we made a change recently where you couldn't, if you were choking someone, you couldn't choke multiple people. And everyone we talked to in the envoys channel was pretty much a consensus, said that it was pretty much fine, as best as it could be right now, and it wasn't as imbalanced as it was in the past. So as for right now, we think it's okay, and we're not going to be changing it in the near future.
Alright, brother. Let's see, what else? Kicking the Dead Horse, will Starham finally get the love it so desperately needs? Starham is the same question. Bob or Mike, what was that?
We said this, they just got a special report, so they can go there and get another special report right after this time.
Okay, apparently there just was a special report, and go to the envoys around there. Starham.
Oh, yeah, they just had a special report. If they want to fix individual skills, submit envoy reports.
Alright, envoy reports, guys. Let's see, what else do we have? What's the most challenging thing to do as a god, both RP-wise and mechanics-wise? I think it's probably different person to person, but my personal experience when I was a roleplay god was I found events were the most challenging. There's just a lot of work that goes into behind the scenes. You're there for a lot of hours, and it can be really, really stressful. And so that was the most challenging thing, I think, in terms of what you're doing behind the scenes. Yeah, do any of the gods want to come answer that question about your experiences?
Roleplay god? Let's talk about being a roleplay god?
they're all ducking for cover. So that's my answer for it. Roleplay-wise, I think the hard thing was to make sure that the roleplay you did impacted the world in some sort of permanent way. Let's see. Okay, so this is a fair question. Meropis, what's going on from Meropis is considered finished at this time.
Nope, it's not finished. There's a lot more to see still. Basically, if you can't sail around it, then there's probably eventually.
Yeah. Easy question. Are there any plans to make Meropis PK worldwide to allow for more open PK?
Well, we've answered the question like so many times. We want to. The problem with Meropis is that there's not as many people going there as we want to, so we can't really get a good feel with whether the PK roles that we have there work really well or not, because it's just hard to absorb because there's not very many people there. So we've been trying to come up with ways to get more people to go to Meropis and explore and to hang out there or whatever. So hopefully you'll be seeing some results of that soon. So we don't know yet.
Awesome. I saw a comment about thanks for the awesome events from Leukemia. I also have to give a shout out to Laura. I don't think I've announced this in the game yet, but Laura is part-time working as an assistant producer for roleplay for Leukemia. So like the big event we had a few weeks ago, in large part that was thanks to Laura. So hopefully we'll see some more of those going on. That's what
Other guides too.
Yeah.
It was not just.
So hopefully we'll see more events like that in the future as well. Is there anything that can be done in Estonia to support the guilds with few members, especially those with people join and get more support from higher ranking members because they're on the team.
Well, that's why we had the collegium system, so that players wouldn't have to really always rely just on your guild members, because I know some of the guilds aren't as populous as the others, and some guilds may have members that aren't as interested in helping out lower level players as others. So that's why I'm hoping the collegium system helps out a lot with picking up those players that may be in a low populous guild. And that's the answer to that question. Thanks.
I'll add too also that I came from a different modding background that wasn't as roleplay intensive as Iron Realms. So when I played Estonia as my first Iron Realms game, it was a big adjustment, and I'm sure I was a complete idiot and just probably a joke. So having patience with new players really, then you can turn a player that seems kind of hopeless into a great player over time. Will we bring back the Hydras and Leukemia? That's an Iron Realms wide promotion, so next time that Iron Realms is something like that, you'll see those back in Leukemia. It's the splitting mob promotion.
Oh, yeah.
They split in two. IRE-wide combat tournament. Which class can I have on top? Leukemia, of course. On top. Do gods go dormant? Ever get the original players back, or is it always someone new when they come back? I think it's something like if a god comes, if there's a new god in the world, is it ever the original? In Empyrean sometimes. I think it's happened in Decay. I think it's happened in Estonia once or twice too. It depends. It depends game to game and person to person. Okay, we've got one for Jesse here. Defilers. What's going on with Defilers?
We're just about finished with our internal testing for the Defilers. When I get back, I'm concentrating on two main things. First, we'll be selecting and training the last batch of Solani people we're getting, and then releasing the Defilers for public testing, and we'll probably be looking at maybe a week or two of that, depending on how it goes, and definitely looking for something by the end of the month for them.
Alright, end of the month. Famous last words.
Exactly.
Let's say which one.
Some month. This is also a question for Jesse. Backburner, but bashing, balancing anytime soon.
Yeah, bashing stuff had to go on the back burner for the new class. So obviously, once the new class is out, we can move on back to that. Probably about 75% done with the code for that, and then so once the filers are out, bashing stuff will be next.
Okay. Looks to me. Yeah, bashing areas. That's just as we have builders building them. It takes a lot of work to get an area done. I don't think it's going to realize that. But all the games are expanding on that. Public testing. Okay, so this is also for Jesse. Public testing, is it only going to be open to those tourney winners, or will it be open to others as well?
Tourney winners get sneak peek stuff, and then we'll open it to everyone.
So there we have it. Any plans for extending the Hall of Worlds in Leukemia for those who don't have enough agenda member? Yeah, we will expand the Hall of Worlds as we get more areas. I've tried to make sure it links to places all across the world. But yeah, as we have more areas, we will expand that over time. What other promotions do we have in mind for the future? I really enjoy the little rewards. We're always trying to come up with ideas for new promotions. So if you have an interesting idea, go ahead and email any of us. You can email Jeremy@ironlands.com, or you can email any of the producers. And we have a meeting every week. We'll talk about things like that. Okay, let's see. Does Estonia have any plans to deal with the inflation that is occurring in all the games, as developers try to build new high-yield bashing areas for top-tier players?
I assume you mean inflation because there may be a lot more gold in the game because we adjusted some of the experience and mob level of mobs, as you know, so you get more gold and more experience from some of the higher level mobs. And I mean, basic economics, eventually it's going to balance out. If there's more gold in the system, it'll just be worth a little bit less than usual. That's the question. I would like to try to get more gold sinks. I know there's those chests that I think all the games had, and a couple of us sold them for gold, and that was a good gold sink. And I'm always open to more gold sinks, so if anyone has any ideas of which we want to invest in to get rid of the gold, let me know. That's that.
Our marketing products that we tossed around, mouse pads, point cards, etc. I know some of the games are sold those individually and they never sell very well. Some of them still may. Does Estonia still sell merchandise?
It's up, but we sell maybe one a year.
Yeah. So Rob said it's up there, but they sell about one a year. So I rebuy it really don't have it. So individually, someday. About the IRE app, is there any chance for a prize for the person who sends out the most accepted invites to the game?
Another prize besides the free credits?
Yeah, free credits, I guess.
I would say no.
No. Free credits is about it. Jeremy maybe will send you an email telling you what an awesome person you are.
I'll give you a high five.
High five. Virtual high five. Let's see. Have you guys thought about doing an IRE booth at Gen Con next year? I don't think we've ever thought about trying out
what would you have in the booth, right?
Walls and text. Look at this awesome log.
Yeah.
500 pages long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fishing in Listonia. Any plans for fishing in Listonia? Rob says no. Sorry, guys. Would you answer whether any of the IREs would follow the plans with Atolia? We're talking about the new client, how they're not going to be on CMED and ZMED anymore. Atolia is going to be our test market for that. We think the players are. We think players are going to love it. But so we'll see how it goes in Atolia. Maybe do a few tweaks there. And once everybody in Atolia is ready to love it, then we'll be expanding to the game. So we'll see. Will we be getting more achievements in this tournament?
Yeah, I'd like to have more achievements in Estonia. I know there's a thread on the forums where there was a lot of ideas for new achievements, and we might go back to that. Or if you're really interested, start a new thread, and we'll take a look at it. But I definitely do want more achievements.
Okay, so we have that. Taming wild mounts in Mikimia, sorry. Yep, that's something you can look at in the future, and there was a skill for it. There's no mounts to tame right now. Let's see. Mounts in Mikimia, do you plan on releasing artifacts to keep them a little safer? Nope, there's no plans for that right now. You can stable your mounts if you want them to be safe. They can't be harmed there, and there's a skill in riding, which, if you die or your mount flees back to its stable. So it should be pretty safe. Let's see. Necromancy Turtle Leukemia. Maybe in the future it's not going to be anything similar to the other ones that Iron Realms has. Let's see. Any plans to rebalance aspects in Imperium? There are currently no reason outside of RP to be anything but a life aspect that has the only powers that do not suck for the level 100 time investment.
Yeah, that's a big part of the bashing thing that I have planned. So yes, there will be changes to aspects.
Cool. Let's see, when can we expect an IRE-based Flash game? We don't have any plans for that right now. We have a Flash client, but we're focused on text games. would you consider PK events and arenas where you all choose to battle as your favorite gods, and the gods as pre-made avatars with a relative configuration of an event? I would send that idea to your producer. I'm not sure which game we're from. Maybe they'll consider that. Let's see. New bard weapon for a KO. What happened to the cutlass?
With cutlasses, that was something we're still sort of playing around with, is finding a good balance of stats and things like that. We're also looking at maybe trying to use the scimitar weapon as well. So it's still on the board, but nothing sort of definite just yet.
We're switching on that here. Okay. Let's see. Estonia will be Sizgani Fair. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name. Will the Wayfair be altered to allow that the coins have been somewhat repurposed? Yeah.
You're saying that since
The Wayfair never had coins, so there's nothing to repurpose. But I don't know. I'll have to think about having the Wayfair give a coin instead of dingbats as the ultimate prize the next time the Wayfair may come up.
Okay, well, we have another one for Estonia here too. Are there any plans to make shields more useful for warriors in Estonia?
No, there's no plans. I didn't know they were useless or not as useful as you want. But go ahead and start a forum thread on shields, and we can take a look at your ideas for upgrading shields. Oh, that's a good that's a good question. You know, there was one point where we were thinking about having a specialization for a sword and shield, and we had ideas for specialization for warriors for knighthood to have pole arms, which of course can have a shield there too. But if your hands are full, then you obviously can't have a shield, and I guess that's something we can think about to help warriors out. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head right now, but if you have ideas, post them on the forums.
I saw a McKinney question scrolled away about a godless order for priests, since they get their third symphony there, for elves. And since elves don't worship gods, the answer there is no. Priests were not common among the elves, so if you want to follow a god as an elf, don't be a priest. That's pretty much it. How much work goes into releasing a new Beast Mastery critter? Anywhere from that point to help push new things through?
The beasts are the hardest mods to create because there are so many variables. You know, however much you feed, or what type of feed you feed your beast, depends on how it's going to grow and develop. So it's a real tough one, and I think I probably did 90% of all the beats because people, other admin, just don't really want to deal with it. So for newbies, we'll see, maybe for our anniversary, we'll release a couple more.
Is there any way for players to help with that?
I think probably not. Probably not. You can give us some ideas, but to actually design the beast takes more work than I think would be worth trying to have a player design it for us.
One question about a KO. When will KO's Elite memberships offer Mayan crowns to catch up with the other games?
From that one.
Yeah, it's not something we're currently looking at just because our crowns are a bit more rare and exclusive from the other games. Like yeah, so we like to keep the exclusive aspect about it, so it's not something we're looking at this time.
Let's see. carpentry and leukemia. We've tossed around some ideas for that. We need to get a solid design down. But those are trade skills we want to have in the future. Let's see. Estonia. Will current trades get new items added to be crafted, like wall features on the sconces? You would figure there'd be more to it. Well, Rob's over there. I can actually answer this one. I know that when I was got in Estonia, we were adding new designs. You need to talk to, I think there's an admin for that, the charities, is that right? Yeah, so talk to the charities. Charities? Okay.
I like carrots.
Carrots.
That's the funny thing with text games is you never hear the words, and like when I'm here, I hear people referring to the god Note or Not, or Serapis or Serapis. Yeah, it's
However you want to pronounce it. Just be creative. Let's see. Need another leukemia stream. Yeah, I'm actually I'm planning to do an interview with what's that guy's name? Ben. Yeah. So there'll be that sometime in the near future. Let's see. When we get graphics, we are working on it right now.
Yeah, we've had massive discussions about that.
We're thinking about start with stick figures. Maybe go from there. Yeah. Let's see. Cross-game elite memberships. That's something that's not possible to do. Your membership, the games are all separate corporations technically. That our parent corporation owns. So it's not possible to do it just financially. Let's see. What else do we have? Is Raymond Feist ever playing leukemia? Not to my knowledge. He hasn't told me. He does answer emails with questions I have for him. So he's pretty helpful in that. Is Estonia's Wounded Sky storyline going to continue soon?
Well, generally, we don't release information of how an event is going or that type of thing, but there definitely will be more on the Wounded Sky, and if the sky will ever be saved, we'll never know, but hopefully sometime in the future you'll get more information on the Wounded Sky.
Oh, practice wounded leukemia. Well, that's a high priority feature. I will work on it as soon as I get back. Let's see. What should be more ASCII art aside from the fixes? Well, I think we have fireworks which have ASCII art in them. Runes. Okay, runes have ASCII art too. We're sneaking it in here and there. Blackjack.
Chess
may have it too. See, all kinds of ASCII art here. We are going. We just didn't know.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, ASCII art everywhere. Bad question. We're going to shove you. Barack Obama announced via Twitter that he plays a tail. What's his character's name? Anyone answer that?
We feel the Secret Service too much to tell you.
Yeah, we don't want the Secret Service banging down our door. They're standing off screen right now. Yeah, player privacy is tantamount to stuff. You can ask Rock on his next Twitter feed. I think he puts down that. Oh, he's not there. Watch out. He is wickedly wicked. Let's see. Class leads for leukemia. I go back and forth on that. I actually, there's upsides and downsides of the class lead system. It promotes a lot of angst amongst class leads too. But if you have suggestions for skills, I know people have sent me reviews of skill sets before that I've read and made some changes based on that. So I love to hear feedback on the forums or anywhere else. We're not playing by an actual class lead system. Let's see. Kayla, what sneak peek at future Row system plans can you give us? I don't have to wait for that one. None.
We'll have to wait and see.
Okay, you have to wait and see. Let's see. When are the next class leads for Imperium?
After class, after fashion changes.
So we got the new class, the fashion changes for us. No specific time frame. Let's see. Oh, was Crocodile under his first name? Let's see, question 2. Has there been a significant jump in registration since the Dig article promotion system? Jeremy probably will answer that one.
Significant jump in registrations. Okay, so like with our with the Dig stuff, and we're doing a lot of other different social media type of promotion things. It's just a combination of all of it. We're finding we're definitely getting a lot more people that have never played MUDs visiting our site and playing our games and that kind of stuff. So can I point it at just the Dig thing? No, but I think it's a combination of we've been using Facebook a lot more, we've been using Dig a lot more, and then of course a dozen other little things. And on that note, since we're talking about it, make sure you go hit the +1 thing on top of the Iron Realms page for me really quick. Okay?
That's another question for you. Any plans to make Estonia's new website better?
Yes, we're continually working on that. As you know, we're in the process of changing all of the websites. And actually, since we've changed the Listonia website, and I know there's a lot of complaints about the way it looks and the layout and that type of stuff, we've actually, I want to say, doubled the number of new hits that are coming to the page just because the format of the page is much more Google friendly. So, yeah, I know a lot of the old users don't like it a whole lot, but we're getting a lot more new people coming to the site and coming to the games. For example, we moved the Iron Realms website into a different content management system about a year ago, or maybe about a year and a half ago. I think it was about a year ago, and our hits to the Iron Realms website for new players coming from Google has gone up 500%. So it's really important for us to move all of our websites into something that Google likes a little more. And if I see one more comment about my hat and my bald head, I'm going to shoot someone in the face. So you better stop that. All right. So I know some of you guys aren't really excited about the new look, and believe me, it's something we talk about a lot. We're in the process of changing all the websites, and once we get all the websites changed and into this new system, we're going to go through, and we've talked about changing the top print to a much more. We'll go through and make some more changes to it. We'll do better. I know you guys are really upset about it. Like you feel like you're talking to a brick wall, but there's some reasons we did it, and it's helped us a lot. I know it's pissing you guys off a little bit, but so that's the reason. Any other questions on that? Okay, if you have a question, we'll come back to it. Get your other stuff going. JQ will get going here.
Let's see what else we have. When the toxins change, it's been like that. Nothing more specific to what I meant about. Can you please fix the lag with Estonia? It can't be IRE-wide, there's more angry people. It's unbearable.
So we've had 2 different types of lag. I know there's periodic lag when the game sort of saves itself, and that'll cause a little bit of lag. But we haven't really been seeing that much other lag, so we can look into it to save time and reducing that so it's not as apparent. It's a small hiccup instead of a little bit.
And I know Nakimi and Estonia are on the same server. So we recently rebooted both the games, and I think that helped some of the lag issues. Just because over time it built up some load. When might Poker and Nakimi be fixed? As far as I'm aware, it's working. If it's not, some of the bug. Let's see. You find Nakimi to be the best? Yeah, I do too. Thank you. It is the best. Let's see. As a company that sells virtual merchandise, how does IO protect itself from PayPal chargebacks? If you buy credits and use them, you don't pay us, then we'll show you. That's pretty simple. Let's see. Skype serves virtual. Let's see, any other questions? Will I always be able to use email on Leukemia? It depends on how it goes with Otolia. We're going to see about that. If it's as successful as we hope and we think it is going to be, then Leukemia will switch over to that too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Question about the toxins change and an artifact to increase trioxin dioxin damage was for Imperium. I guess it didn't give that.
Darren's the one heading up that project, so if you have any specific questions about that, message him. He's always really quick to respond and is extremely helpful.
Let's see. What else do we have? Yeah, there's something, let's see, Demigod. Would it be possible that when you get Demigod, you get, say, credits gold and then true credit from a star? Just something nice, you know.
Okay, the question about what is the question?
They want
Maybe some stuff.
true credit from
Yeah.
Is that a real question? No. There are no favors for me. But you get to become a demigod and you get to buy your god powers, and that's exciting. So, nothing else. I don't know when to do it.
let's see. Oh, Estella, what edition is your Principia? Principia Discordia. First edition, second edition?
That's a funny question because I got my first Principia Discordia in the 1980s when I was in college. And it was, in those days, it was sort of a secret document. This is really true. It was a secret document that was passed around to people in a photocopied little binder with, the stapled together. It was hilarious. But I have a very, very old copy of the Principia.
There's a question about the Runeblade and Leukemia. It is still around. Player with it is active. I had to take it from previous player because they weren't using it. It's the same issue there. I'll make sure it's always in circulation. Let's see. Improving the note system in Leukemia, Atolia has a lovely one. Well, we're not going to, scale Atolia's note system, but if you have suggestions for improving ours, it's not correct. Let's see. Empyrean's Endgame. I think Jesse already answered that question about Empyrean's Endgame. It's going to go with the bashing changes that he's going to adjust some of the aspect powers. Let's see. When will IRE offer gamepad support? I'm not sure what kind of support you're looking for. Again, I would question your forums what kind of support you're looking for. I'm not sure if that's something we can or will do. Let's see. Multiplayer duels in Leukemia. It's a possibility that's something to look into. I don't know if you're one player at a time right now. We've avoided doing arenas. We have the Siege conquests instead. We can podcast and like that. We can add in a couple of more of those too. I didn't have arenas because it doesn't really match the ultimate Leukemia. So we went for opted for real combat scenarios. Let's see. Can you make an option for custom entrances instead of wearing choice and that's stop choice? Maybe for demigods in Estonia.
You have that.
Don't you have that?
Yeah, we have custom entrances and exits for demigods. It just costs more than the prepaid ones. So if you're willing to pay the essence, you can get the custom ones.
We have one. Is there a definite schedule for calling volunteers guides? It's game by game. It's up to the producer. So you have to ask your producer that question. Is Pander there? No, he's not. Okay. So Mike Sayer from Estonia is going to look into the custom access for demigods. And custom zaps too. We're going to request for that also. There are custom zaps maybe?
Choice apps. I know there's choice messages for all those.
Okay.
Hold on, time out. I was actually thinking of shouts and zaps. Demigods can definitely get custom shouts and zaps, but not entry and exit messages. So that's my fault. But that's something we can look into.
Artifact room weapons for Estonia, why so expensive? Something like 2,400 credits for a full set of good rooms. You want to guess the artifact edition?
Well, that's a cost that's been with the high level. Those are like the highest level rooms, I believe. And I believe we have that's in all the games. That all the like the special weapons in IKEA. We still have that. The special weapons in IKEA are about that same cost. So I don't think we deviated from what the other games are doing.
Let's see. Will there be future perks for bashing to a 100 plus level target on IKEA?
Regarding that, yeah, we've got some changes coming up in the near future for things that you can gain once you get up in the higher post 100 levels. Okay, yeah, there's another question here about making shops not robbable. I think it comes down to player sort of security on that one. If you're a bit lax and keeping things secure, you're probably going to get robbed. So just make sure that you're taking care of your shop and you'll be good. Okay?
There's a question about robbing stores, security shops for more security than you can.
Apparently, listening shops are most shops. Let's see. What else do we have? Yeah, I think we're going to end this in about 5 minutes, too, just so you guys know. So if you have any last minute questions. Any chance to unclutter stock rooms so you don't get spammed out when you enter them? Which game do you play? Estonia. Things like that.
What's the question? Is
It's
there any
something
way
that-
to, because there's so much in the stock room, you just don't
Walk
want as much
into it.
spam?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, maybe totally.
Talk about it. Yeah, it's really not on our radar right now, but something we could look into.
Post in the forums, I guess, in that one.
Or just put less stuff in your shop.
Yeah, stop selling so much. What do you guys do during the meets? That is classified. Well, we do go to a different city every year, so it depends on what there is to do in that city. There's a lot of playing board games, and we have an annual poker game where we try to rob each other blind. I like how it goes. We really want to know become a god and get to find out firsthand. I think that is about it then, question-wise. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to have Jeremy wrap this up then.
Alright, so thanks to JP for being our last second moderator. That's what he gets for showing late. So are there any just kind of specific Iron Realms questions before we get out here? When can we expect IRE full-scale marketing? Yeah, and it's funny that you're the guy that's asking that. I'll talk to you later about that. Magazine ads, we will never be doing magazine ads. Anyways, Jeremy, don't leave us hanging. When can we expect Alchemists? I don't know. I may have been lying about that. It may be happening. Who knows? Bring who back to the front? MKO guy? No. Can you do some 1,000 plus ones? Yeah, actually, I didn't realize quite how hard that was going to be. I think getting the Facebook pluses would be a lot easier, but I was thinking about maybe dropping it to 500 plus ones, so keep clicking, and when we get to 500, I'll decide. Maybe we'll do a little bonus thing at 500, and then when we hit the 1,000, we'll do the really big thing. So we're pretty close to 500, so keep clicking that thing. Alright, see, I said something about talking about the shiny head. Okay, so who's this is a guy on MKO. Do you know who this guy is? What's
Orson.
that? Orson. Yeah, it is. Okay, you're shrub, buddy. As soon as this is over, shrubbery. Do you have shrubs? Oh, you're shrub. Jeremy, which IRE game is your favorite? Boy, I better not answer that. Okay. Britney karaoke? No. From the Sheriff. TOP. Maggots. Alright, any serious questions? Yes? No? Save it for another time. Alright guys, so here we go. Where do we report problems with the IRE Android app? Okay, so we're in the process of actually completely redoing the app, not completely redoing it, but we're adding a lot of more features to it. And we're also doing the Nexus client and the Flash client at the same time. So Thomas, our little slave coder in Europe, is working on that as we speak. So if you have any bugs with that, you can send it directly to me, which is jeremy@ironrealms.com, or if it's for the Android one, if you send it to android@ironrealms.com, then that'll go to Thomas also. You can look at that directly. But if you have any bugs with any of the clients, it's best just to send it to me, and I will make sure to make it just via email. Don't bug Nexus or Flash clients in your game, because the producer will just laugh at you. Okay, there was something else I saw. Open source the client. I don't know. We're probably not going to do that. Are there any plans for those of us not lucky to have an Android phone? As soon as we are done with the Nexus, Flash, and Android clients, we are going to make an iPhone and an iPad client. We have an HTML5 client. We just don't have it on the website yet. We're in the process of putting it on the website, though. We have one that someone has already made, and Thomas and him are working together to get it on the website. So if you're into HTML5, I think HTML5 runs on Chrome, and like the new version of Explorer, right?
Yeah, Internet Explorer version 9, although it's experimental with things like direct internet sockets, doesn't work on 9 yet.
Yeah.
Latest version of Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Opera, they all.
Yeah. So, and the nice thing about that is it should just work. Like, you don't have to download Flash or anything like that. So, we will just have another client for you. Who are all the gods here? There's too many. We have 20 people here this time, which is one of our biggest meets, so it's a lot of fun. Any plans for IRE to ever create a graphic in MMO? Dude, we have graphic in our games, okay? We talked about this earlier. What do we got here? Maps,
rooms, chess.
Exploding fireworks. Group pic. Oh, so we'll have to get a group picture. Yeah, we definitely need to do that. Yes, there are. There's like 5 Listernia gods here. I'm too lazy to point them all out. Cactus Weed. Okay, I'll spin the camera around one more time and then we'll wrap it up here. Any more drugs in the muds? No. Well, I don't know. We could, I guess. Okay, alright, so I'm going to spin it around once, and then we're done. So you can see our awesome suite here one more time. Alright, so here we go. Hello, everybody, wave. Hooray! Wave over there. We got people over there. There's a waver behind it. Oh, there's people hiding. I'm trying to point. That's bad pointing. Okay, alright, here we go. Here's the other guys. Wave. Wave. Can I see you? Oh, sorry. Wave. Is it no good? I have no idea. Sorry, guys. There we go. Waving. Go back. Alright, guys, so thanks a lot for coming to our deal here. And I'm sure we'll be doing another one here in the next month or so with one of the games. Yeah, that was rather something I'm really for myself. But alright, guys, thanks a lot for coming, and we'll talk to you soon. Later.